Picture this. You're sitting at your instrument, frustrated, feeling like you've hit a wall with a particularly challenging passage. You don't understand why. You spent so many hours repeating this one phrase already, but your fingers just don't get it right, and the original tempo seems still so far away. Is it your fault? Are you maybe just not talented enough? You feel like you will never develop a great technique. How many hours you're practicing is important, but what's at least as important is how you're practicing and which practice strategies you're applying. That's why today I want to show you 3 effective practice strategies for difficult phrases like this one. These practice strategies will help you play faster and achieve more in less time. They will also make your practicing more focused, creative and fun. Before I show you these practice strategies, take a moment and think about how you would usually practice a phrase like this. Most people would just try to get through, maybe repeating the one or other mistake, and when they went through once, they would just repeat it in a slightly faster tempo, and this process would go on for hours and hours until they're finally able to play this phrase in the original tempo. But I can tell you from my own experience and also from the experience I have with my students that this is not the fastest way to progress. Practicing like this can often lead to frustration, losing interest in what you're practicing, and even doubting if you have the necessary talent at all. Let me show you 3 ways to do it better. This is the strongest practice strategy I know, and it's actually fairly simple. Every time you repeat the phrase you're practicing, play it in a different way. What you can do is, for example, play always the first 8th note short, the second one long, then again the third note short, fourth long, and so on, or you articulate every note 2 times. Or you can also always slur 2 notes, or slur 2 notes, then articulate 2 notes, and so on. You can also do really weird things. For example, play the first note loud, the second one soft, third note loud, fourth soft, and so on. Or you try to play the phrase backwards. The only rule is that you always change something with every repetition, because through that you keep your brain engaged, and this will allow you to learn the phrase you're practicing on a much deeper level. This practice strategy is also one of my favorites. How it works is you start from the end of the phrase. So, for example, you only take the last 2 notes, you play these, then the next time you play the last 3 notes, then the next time the last 4 notes, and so on. What you do here is not so different from the first practice strategy. It ensures a lot of repetitions, but there's always a slight change which will keep your brain engaged. Of course, you don't always have to only add 1 more note. Maybe first you want to start with the last 4 notes, then play the last 8 notes, and so on. Or maybe you want to start with the last bar, then play the last 2 bars, and so on. How big or small the chunks are that you're adding depends on what you think makes most sense with the phrase you're practicing. This practice strategy is very strong. Let me tell you a very important truth. If you can't imagine the finger movements involved in playing the phrase in your mind, you will not be able to play the phrase smoothly on your instrument. The reason for that is that the signals for our finger movements come from our brain. And by playing the phrase only in your mind without the instrument, you wire your brain in the most direct way possible. Besides its effectiveness, a great plus of this exercise is that you can do it anywhere, in the train, in the bus, riding your bike, etc. And you can also do it anytime, even if your neighbors or children are asleep. I know in the beginning it can be difficult to make yourself practice like this, but I can guarantee you it's worth trying this way of practicing. There are a lot of studies out there by now showing that mental practice is a great way of learning. Alright guys, those were my 3 favorite practice strategies. I hope this video will help you on your journey with your instrument. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. And see you next time.